Here in my 2012 Chevy Tahoe. I'm getting a code P0121. I found this, about this years ago, this carMD from online, back then when they used to do infomercials. But I found this in there, but it still works. I put batteries in, it still works. But it gave me code P0121. I noticed I had a rough idle, and the check engine light keeps coming on, the engine keeps shaking. So I decided to pull this out and check it out. And from what Google tells me, after I Google this code, it says it's misfire for on the driver's side, cylinder 7, which is way back there, which is easy to get to, so I don't see why it has any problem. But I don't think anyone would have just not changed it, or not changed out the spark plug, or I don't know, like how flat rate mechanics do. They just say, hey, I'm not going to change that last hard spark plug because it's too hard to get to. And I have an exhaust leak. I keep hearing that exhaust leak, so maybe that has something to do with this too. We're going to find out. But right now I got everything set up, got my lights set up. I'm going to go ahead and take it out, look at the spark plug, and see what's happening. This old bucket right here, this will be my working stepping stool. Go ahead, open up my old toolbox. Don't want to mess up next I'm going to move this. I don't want to scratch my baby right here. It's my Z06. I don't want to scratch it. Go ahead and move this toolbox over here. This is my rat's nest toolbox. It's got everything here, but I keep all the sockets up here. First things first, let's just take off the spark plug and check it out. Or coil, whatever you want to call it. Let's give it a good look. So before, just look down into these old wires, and shit is corroded. I mean, I don't even know if you can see down there. It's just packed with fucking, looks like, can I even get down there and look? It's packed with grease and look like calcium buildup. It's just crazy because it's a spark plug. But I'm guessing all these wires need to be changed. So that's one thing. So let's keep on going. Holy shit. Holy shit. I took the spark plug off and it's falling apart. I don't know, can you guys see this? Can you see it? Can you see on the inside? Can you see it on the inside? It's actually falling apart, like it's corroded. And I'm guessing these spark plugs have never been changed. I bought it from a dealership, not a dealership, a car rental. They offered a good price for it, but I mean, I looked at it. The car had. Oh, you know what? This was a fleet vehicle. It wasn't a rental. It was a fleet vehicle. So I guess they used it to transport people. So it had higher mileage. I think it had 100 grand on it. And they sold it to me for 12 grand. So I thought it was a great deal. I bought the truck for 12,000. But I'm guessing this vehicle wasn't maintained too well. I mean, that's crazy. I literally just pulled it out. This right here, and the metal part started coming off. This guy just actually, as I pulled it out, I rubbed it against the motor. That's why you see all that around here. But this was not touched. This is burned up. The whole inside is burned up. So I'm guessing I'm gonna have to check all these spark plugs now. All right. So obviously that's the problem. I'm gonna check the other ones and do a comparison. And by the way, I got a new spark plug. I'm gonna throw it in there and see if that fixes the problem right away. I'm not putting that back in. And if that fixes the problem, I'm gonna go to the store and just buy all new spark plugs and wires and everything. Just fix the problem once and for all. I take back what I said at the beginning of the video. How I said it was easy to get to. I don't see why anybody would have skipped it. That was a lie. This is not very. It was kind of a bitch. If I didn't just happen to have this socket wrench that bends and goes back and forth, I would have never. It would have been hard to get to it. Or a really short socket, a really short one that you can actually get some torque on. Okay. Now here's the difference. Now here goes all the other spark plugs. Totally different look. They're not falling apart. They pretty much look like these were put in 50,000 miles ago or so. Maybe not even 50. I can't even, but you know what? It definitely doesn't look that. It's the spark plug that was sitting right next to it. I forget what cylinder number that was. But so I just took that one out. I took this one out and I replaced it. I don't know why it looks so bad. I just took that one out, Cylinder number 7. That was cylinder number 7. That's the one that was giving me the codes. Now look, cylinder number 7. Now the cylinder right next to it, totally different. They do need to. I am gonna change them because I just bought the truck, but totally different. Look at them, side by side. Look at them. I don't know why it's doing that, but we're gonna find out. So look at that, side by side. All right, now I'm gonna put this one back in, put it back together, and next week I think I'm gonna go ahead and just change all the spark plugs and the wires, just cause. So this one's good enough to last till next week. We'll put it back in. I just wanted to check it out. Placing it back in for whatever cylinder number this is, I forgot on the driver's side, but that one over here is cylinder 7, the one I just fixed. I mean, I pretty much do about 10 miles a day on this car. Driving to and from work, it's 10 miles. So, I mean, I could probably go into a whole lot more in these spark plugs. My total is what? I work 5 days a week. That's 50 miles a week. This car's gonna last a while. But my Z06 over there, we don't play with that one. We change this oil quick. We change the oil quick on that one. Anything wrong, we fix it. High quality parts. This one, I do the same thing, but I mean, I'm a little more lenient on it. Place the plugs back on. Hopefully I'm doing this right. I'm not really a mechanic. I don't know. I could just figure it out and try to figure it out and fix it. All right, back on. Back on. Everything's on. All right, so I'm gonna start them up and see if it's start up. See if the service engine light comes on. See if it has a rough idle still. Hood open. All right, just give it a second. Let the let the idle go down. Oh, I have an exhaust leak. I hear that. I need to go fix that real quick. I'm gonna come back to this. Okay, I have an exhaust leak somewhere in here, and it gives you that annoying tick. So I'm gonna go through here and find out where it's at, and just tighten up on all the. Oh God, I gotta pull this off. Tighten up all the bolts and figure out which one is leaking or where the leak is coming from. Which probably has something to do with that spark plug. Pretty much just tighten up on all these bolts, if you can see them. Right here, this one's right here, all on the manifold, just to figure out which one is making that leak or that sound. I'm gonna go all the way down there. Go all the way down there, go all the way through the exhaust and just figure out where it's coming from. Find a loose bolt. Well, holy shit, I found it really quick. It's actually the one. This is really weird. Right there where the spark plug is really bad at, where the spark plug was bad, it's missing a bolt all the way in the back. I don't know if it's broken off in there, but it's missing. So I'm gonna take one off and then head down to Pep Boys and get a new one. The bolt broke off. It's just a broken bolt. I'm trying to put another bolt in there, but it's not working. It's not fitting like it's fitting in all the other. I took other ones off to see if they fit differently, but I think something just broke in there. I'm probably just gonna have to live with the tick. Just gonna have to live with the tick. That annoying ticking sound that everyone can hear when you pull up. So there ain't no fixing that. There ain't no fixing that. Fixed one problem. Found another. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this bolt in. I just wanted to take a bolt out. I put it in there to see if I can get it in, and I can't. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. Now we can go back and see if the original problem was fixed. The misfire with the harsh idle. Funny, while going back and trying to make sure all of them were tightened and see if I can kind of eliminate the sound, I found one that was really loose right next to it. So hopefully this gets rid of that tick and we fix the problem. Now we can go back and see if we fixed the original problem, which was the idle. Now we can go back and see if we fixed the original problem, which was the idle. So let's start it up and check it. See if we fixed the rough idle. So far. give it a second to warm up. I didn't want to turn it on earlier. I already knew we had the problem, and I didn't want to work on a hot motor. So let's see. Because before, the RPM gauge was just jumping up and down, boom, 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 boom. It was just dumping, dumping, just doing its own little dance. So let's just see what happens. Well, no check engine light. Let's see if it starts rough idling. It would have already been rough idling, so rough idling. It seems like. Oh, hold on, wait. I don't hear that tick anymore. I guess we fixed the tick too. So that one little, even though one of the bolts have broken off, let's go look at it. The engine was shaking before. It's not happening now. So the engine is not shaking. There's a little bit of a tick. You can hear it, but it's not hardly as loud as it was before. You hear a slight tick. It's so quiet now. Before it was kind of embarrassing pulling up somewhere and you heard that tick. It goes tick. It was really loud. Sound like a junker. It was a really loud tick before, but it's a slight tick, but it's lower. So we fixed that just by tightening up the manifold bolts. One of them broke off. I tightened up all the rest of them in there, if you can see them. And if you don't know what the manifold bolts are, pretty much that bolt and my hand's blocking the light. That bolt right there, those two, that one, that's two right there. There's one back there. Right there on that rusted metal piece, which is called a manifold. But yeah, I guess we fixed the problem. I can close the hood now. Listen to that. With the hood closed, you don't hear any tick. You hear no tick with the hood closed. Let's get in and look at the RPM gauge, see if it's still dancing and jumping. Problem fixed. The problem is fixed. It's not jumping. Oh, wait. Okay, it's just lower. It's lowering the RPM. It was in the choke was on. I still need to go and change everything, but right now I just put a Band-Aid on it. Fixed it real quick. We're at 600. Yeah, it's not. Before it was jumping. It would jump down near to 0, pop back up, and it was just going real bad. But hey, that right there I can live with. We just got to tune it up. Next time when I change, I guess I'm gonna wait till I change the oil. I'm gonna go ahead and new spark plug wires, new spark plugs, new air filter, do everything. But that's it. And we fixed the tick, and it's quiet. So I'm happy. All right, and that was it.